You are about to meet a star. Like all of the truly great stars, he doesn't think of himself as a star. He sees himself as a guy trying to do a good job. He is supremely talented to the point that he makes his work look easy, stunningly handsome, intensely charismatic, with a smile that grabs your heart and won't let go. He wasn't on the list of Time Magazine's Person of the Year candidates, but more than deserves to be. He is not known outside of his own country. He is only known in Chikwawa, a small town far from the big cities of Malawi. He's a third-grade teacher, and he is the biggest star I have ever met in any school anywhere in the world.
I do love my job more than everything I do. I do love my job more than everything I do.
His name is Tafala Malunga. His parents inspired him to become a teacher.
I became a teacher through motivation of my parents. All my parents were teachers. I can say were because one of my parents passed away. So my father was a teacher, my mother is a teacher. So I was being motivated in the same house because they were all teachers. So the activities that were being carried out at the school motivated me too. So I could say that, wow, I think this career with me is going to match.
Here are Tafala's bosses, the head teacher and the assistant head teacher of the Kalima Primary School. As it happens, they are both named Patrick. They call themselves P Squared. And on the wall of the office they share is this poster saying, "A poor teacher tells, an average teacher explains, a good teacher demonstrates, a great teacher inspires." I first spotted Tafala Malunga at his school in the hottest area of Malawi, sitting under a tree in 108 degrees of dry heat, inspiring. As a former public school teacher, what I see in that picture, and I know many teachers out there tonight are seeing in that picture, is the effortless grip that Tafala has on the attention and respect of those 5 boys who I saw hanging on his every word. A great teacher inspires. The biggest challenge Tafala has as a teacher is to get those 5 boys to come to school tomorrow in a country where the dropout rate is extraordinarily high. Tafala inspires the learners, as they are called in Malawi schools, to keep coming back to school by always surprising them and always keeping them wondering about what surprise he might have for them tomorrow.
That creativity that I do motivates more learners. Yeah, even I can assure you that some learners started school because of what I do. Yeah, more than 15 learners started school because of what I do.
15?
More than 15 every day. I do a lot of things, not like uniformly that what I did yesterday, I will do it today. No, today I do another thing, and then the other day I do another thing, so it's like rotating of events on them.
Sure. The day I was at the school, the big surprise came from you. Your generous contributions to the Kind Fund delivered desks to the classrooms that have never had desks. And while the learners were waiting excitedly outside their classrooms for the truck full of desks to arrive, Tafala kept them entertained. And then when our truck arrived, Tafala led them to the truck to unload the desks themselves. Kids in Need of Desks, the partnership I created with UNICEF and MSNBC to provide desks to schools in Malawi, is first of all a jobs program. The money you contribute for desks goes directly to factories in Malawi where those desks are made, providing jobs for hundreds of workers now over the years who have made hundreds of thousands of desks. The carpenters and welders and machine workers and painters who make these desks can reliably feed their families now thanks to your generosity. The children of some of these workers now hope to grow up to work in these factories making these desks. And so these desks have become more than the most important thing that have been delivered to these classrooms. These desks are now a career ambition for kids in Malawi hoping to get jobs making these desks when they grow up. The Kind Fund also provides scholarships for girls to attend high school in Malawi, where the girls' high school graduation rate is half the boys' high school graduation rate. You can go to lastworddesks.msnbc.com and contribute any amount. No amount is too small to help provide desks or send girls to high school in Malawi, where public high school is not free. Elena Pingasa is a 7th grade student at the Kalima Primary School. In Malawi schools, girls are more reluctant than boys to answer questions in class because they have to gather their skirts to stand up and then gather their skirts to sit down again. That was Elena an hour before we delivered desks to her classroom.
What did it feel like today when you knew you would never have to sit on the floor in class again?
Namba bwino pa moyo wanga chifukwa yokuririra khala pasi waja pamene tikamalemba tikasaja amalembesa bodi tikuriri dzilemba timapeza kuti makope rimeka apa ndiye kuriri dzilemba ridzibizena simokankharatsika na ridzibizena kugwiya chi dzimarikanika pomwe pa desk tidzilemba bobori tamangu tsamitsa pa desk waja kumalemba sana sosu dziriporeka pamene pasi paja sana mariporeka pa desk waja dingotsami yachi mokankharatsika na tikakhala ku period timangira somanyazi kuti tidzuke timari mwina nditsikiranga mwina aipa ndiye kuti ndidzuke ndimari mwina anyamara kwa kundonea ndiye timapurira.
Elena told me that she wants to be a teacher. That means she will need one of the scholarships that you contribute to attend high school in Malawi. In her elementary school, learning from a teacher like Tafala Malunga, she already knows what a great teacher does.
Why do you want to be a teacher?
Madamu, ndipo ayo madamu. Umanisangalatsa akamaphunzitsa pabolodi.
Do you admire your teachers?
Ni masilila.
A great teacher inspires.